Let's now welcome and get reaction from the DA. Let's bring in the DA's Karabo Khakhau. All right, she's not ready for us, but is she ready for us? All right, so, thank you so much for your time, Karabo. Your reaction as the DA after you challenged Dr Hlophe's nomination, in fact?
Thank you so much for having me. Also, good evening to yourself and good afternoon. I never know these days. Afternoon to you viewers.
Afternoon.
Our reaction is simple. This is a victory for the people of South Africa. It is a victory for South Africa. And we're very happy that we took this challenge to court because it was necessary, particularly because Chapter 8 of the South African Constitution, Section 165 of it, Section 4 of the Constitution speaks very clearly that courts are supposed to operate independently, that they're supposed to be effective, and that we need to make sure that their dignities are upheld. So it was a matter of importance for the Democratic Alliance for us to go fight to say we cannot have a disgraced and impeached judge responsible for the appointment of other judges across the land. There must be trust in the courts of this country, and Parliament must play its part in making sure that we're still able to observe the independence of the courts. And there is no way a person who was found guilty of manipulating the decisions of judges before can now sit in the JSC wearing a different cap today, Parliament's cap. That Parliament had the responsibility to protect the integrity of not only the decisions that it takes, but the decisions ultimately that will be taken by the courts of this country for the people of the country, particularly because decisions that judges take in this country make or break the lives of South Africans.
Our line is not very clear, Karabo, but I want to ask you this last question. In fact, something that I also posed to our legal analyst. What do you make and what do you say to those that say this speaks to judicial encroachment? I mean, you speak about independence and also the separation of power. What do you think, this speaks to, especially when you consider that some members in Parliament supported Dr Hlophe's nomination?
The separation only makes sense if the Constitution is upheld and there's no need to have clarity on the Constitution. The bottom line is all three arms of state, the judicial, executive, and legislative arm of state, have this book here as their gospel. The alpha and omega of the dealings has to be tested against this rule book. So when Parliament takes decisions that are inconsistent with the provisions of this Constitution of the Republic of South Africans, it is well within any civilian in this country, in any political party, to take that before the courts of this country. Parliament, the executive, and the judicial arm of state are supposed to work together to uphold the rule of law. So there's absolutely nothing wrong in what we did. And had we not done so, we would have seen, had the Democratic Alliance not gone to court, we would have seen a disgraced judge, an impeached judge sitting in the JSC, taking decisions on who gets to be a judge elsewhere in this country. That is not the quality of leadership that Parliament must be sending to the JSC. It is certainly not the quality of leadership we're supposed to be seeing in Parliament to begin with. But the MK party thinks it makes sense to have people as disgraced of the character of Dr Hlophe there. But that is not something that Parliament must now rubber stamp and then make it a norm. So we are happy that we have a functioning democracy in this country, that we are able to trust the courts to take decisions that help parliamentarians stick to the rule book of the country, being the Constitution of the country.
All right, Karabo, thank you so much for your time. Really appreciate it. The DA's Karabo Khakhau reacting there, of course, the DA as well as the Freedom Under Law as well as Corruption Watch approached the court over Hlophe's designation to the JSC. Of course, Karabo commenting there on that particular outcome. We do apologize for that sound.